Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be reading a short story called Snowmen at Night, and then we are going to be drawing a picture, okay? So I'm gonna read this story to you called Snowmen at Night. One wintry day, I made a snowman, very round and tall. The next day when I saw him, he was not the same at all. His hat had slipped, his arms drooped down. He really looked a fright. It made me start to wonder, what do snowmen do at night? I think that snowmen start to slide when it gets really dark. Off the lawn and down the street, right into the park. They gather in a circle while they wait for all the others, sipping cups of ice-cold cocoa made by snowman mothers. When the snowman games begin, they line up in their places, each one anxious for his turn in the snowman races. After everyone has had a chance at racing once or twice, they go on over to the pond to do skating tricks on ice. Sometimes they start giggling, and then they act like clowns. They bump into each other till they all fall down. They gather up their snowballs, the pitcher takes his aim, and underneath the moonlit sky, they play a baseball game. No one knows just how it started, but soon it's quite a sight, with snowmen throwing snowballs in the world's best snowball fights. Then it's time for sledding. It's a wild ride down the hill. Wahoo, they yell. This is by far the snowman's biggest thrill. Finally, they're tuckered out and getting sleepy. So they slowly gather up their things and one by one they go. So if your snowman's grin is crooked or he's lost a little height, you'll know he's just been doing what snowmen do at night. The end. All right, you guys. So for our project this week, we are going to be drawing a snowman. I'm just going to share my screen here with you. And for this project, we are going to be learning how to do some shading. So this snowman is in a different perspective than just a snowman standing up, like if the snowman was just kind of standing up like this and we drew 3 circles. So you will notice that each one of these is not a full circle, except for the top one. These ones here are meant to look like the snowman is kind of on an angle and sort of like you as the viewer are looking up at him or he's looking down at you. Okay, so it's a different perspective than just a regular snowman. Okay, so for this project, you guys are going to need crayons or colored pencils. Okay, markers will not work for this. So you do need crayons or colored pencils if you're going to do this project the way that we're going to learn how to shade. Okay, so one of our elements of art is called value. So value in art is not the value of like a penny or a dollar or any type of money. Value in art has to do with a color. So like on your snowman, a color or even just black or white, or black and white, I should say, going from dark to light. So the value is dark, medium, light. Okay, so you need a blank piece of paper and you need a pencil to get started. and we're going to do the first part of this together. Okay, so starting over here in the corner, you guys are going to draw a big half circle or quarter circle coming out of the corner. Okay, and draw it with pencil kind of light, because the main thing that we're going to focus on here is looking like the shading. And so since we read the story Snowman at Night, we're supposed to make our snowmen look like they're at night, which was a nice story. Do you guys think that snowmen really do those things at night? I don't. Maybe they do. Okay. Next step. You're going to draw the middle part of the snowman's body. So it's going to be another circle, kind of a full circle, but it's cut off, just connecting to this bottom one. This one I'm going to fix a little bit. There we go. Okay. Okay, and then the last one is going to be the top of the snowman. So connecting from this one's going to be closer to a full circle than the others, but it's still going to be kind of like cut off by that one. Okay, so now we have a very strange kind of shape right now. Also, right now is the time with pencil, doing it lightly, don't press too hard with pencil, is the time for you to add any details that you want. So for example, your snowman wearing a scarf. So I'm gonna draw my snowman wearing a scarf. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw another line here to make the scarf look like it's around the snowman's neck. I'm gonna draw another line going straight down and then straight down there. And I can erase those little ones. And then I had my scarf kind of going up this way. If you wanted to do this a different way, you definitely can. Like if you wanted to draw your scarf a different way, that's totally fine. And I'm just gonna have it kind of coming out that way. And then any pattern you want on your scarf. I'm gonna do some stripes here. If you want a different pattern, definitely do that. Okay. And then I'm going to draw his hat also. You could do any type of hat you want. You could do a winter hat. You could do a top hat. You could do a baseball hat if you want. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry, guys. I don't know sometimes why it does that. Okay. Okay, so there's my, oh boy. There we go. Sorry, it keeps going like light like that. Okay, now, as far as the other stuff goes, like the snowman's eyes and face and arms and all that, let's do that next. Now is when you need your crayons or your colored pencils. So you're gonna wanna use either a blue or a purple crayon or colored pencil. Okay, now, why are we using blue or purple? Well, in the wintertime, it is cold out and we need to use a cool color to show our snowmen at night. So I'm gonna use blue, but purple is also a cool color. So you can choose to use blue or purple. So here's my blue crayon. So we're gonna get started in the shading. So the shading is where you should be following along with me to make the snowman look like it's rounded. Okay, so we want it to look round, and that's what shading is. It gives value to something and it makes it look more realistic. Okay. So starting by at the bottom circle, starting by the line, You're going to take your blue or your purple crayon and you're going to kind of outline this at first. And I'm pressing pretty hard. Okay, now, once you have that, you're going to press hard. So I'm pressing down pretty hard again. If you're doing this with colored pencil, same thing. I'm pressing hard right along the edges of that half circle there. Okay, now, as I go towards the bottom here, towards this corner, that's when I would want to make it as light as possible. And as light as possible, I mean even completely white, okay? So I'm pressing hard again. So I'm going to make like this darker shade last up until just probably about there. Now I'm going to start making it lighter. So how do I make it lighter with a crayon or colored pencil? You have to adjust how hard you press. So that means now I'm going to start pressing medium. So not quite as hard as I was pressing. So I'm pressing medium. Do you see how it's starting to get lighter? So I want my blue to look lighter as I go around. But it's still not super light yet. It's still just a medium blue. So I'm pressing medium as I go. So this is called shading. You can do shading with anything basically that you color. Shading works really well with pastels, colored pencils, crayons, regular pencil even. Okay, as I move away from my medium blue, I want to start getting into my really light colored blue. So I'm going to do that. As I go down, so now I'm pressing really light with my crayon. Okay, so you guys see how light I'm pressing? I'm starting to get towards super, super light blue to the point where it's not even going to show blue anymore. So I'm going to keep doing this just a little bit more. So I'm barely touching the paper, you guys, like just barely. Because I want it to start to look white. Make sense? Now, does that look round to you? Starting to look round. Okay, so we're gonna do the exact same thing on this middle circle. Except this time, the blue is gonna go all the way around. So wherever the edge is, that's when you're gonna press hard. So right next to the scarf, I don't wanna color on the scarf, but just right next to it. All the way around, because I want this little circle of snow to look round as well. So again, just going to press hard for just a little bit around here. And I'm going to keep going. You might be wondering, why can't you use markers for shading? Markers do not allow you to press hard or light. If you use a marker, it's just going to be always one color. You can't press hard, you can't press light with it. So that's why a marker will not work for this, at least for the shading part. Okay, so then again, once you have that, you're going to press medium. Next to the dark, all the way around. Sorry, you couldn't see that. Okay, so now I'm getting to the light part. So remember, when I press light, I'm barely barely touching the paper. And I kind of want to make it start to fade into that white. Okay. And then you're going to do that one more time on the top circle. Again, just where it is the edge, you're going to press hard. All the way around. I like to outline it first, just because it's easier then to stay in the lines. But yeah, so press hard, and then you would go ahead and start to press medium, and then your light color, which is very, 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 very lightly pressing on your paper. Okay? Now, oops, I messed that up. Okay, that is it for the shading portion. So you guys can definitely tell now that I have my snowman who looks like he's 3D. Like you can tell that those are supposed to be circles or spheres, which is the 3D shape of a circle, right? Okay, so now is the time when you would start to just add in your details. You guys can do those, you guys can do those however you want. You can even use markers for your details if you wanted to, or you can stick with crayon. I'm just gonna take like my black, and I'm gonna make my snowman face. You can do this with black crayon as well. Doesn't have to be a Sharpie. And then make your nose, your carrot nose. And then you can add all of your other details like your hat. Maybe your hat has a pattern on it, or whatever the case is. Okay, guys, so that is it for that. I would love to see how these turned out. You can also add a background. I will probably add a background of snowflakes at night, just because that was our story. And I think that would go along with this really well. So then maybe to show that it's at night, I would maybe add like a moon up here. If you want to do your snowman during the day, you can. If you want to do it, if you want to do a different type of background, you can. All right, but that's it. I hope you guys had fun, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.